Hello and welcome to our live Employers Masterclass session from Changing Education. This is an opportunity for employers to give you, the students, a real insight into their world of work. My name is Amos Madra, I'm a careers advisor here at Changing Education. Joining me today is Katy Kurn, who's the founder of Show Off Communications, a business that provides an outsourced marketing department for other companies. Katy also has a global training academy teaching business owners, how to create their own marketing content and teaching people how to be a marketing content writer as a career. Katy is a long-time advocate of flexible remote freelance working and has built a very successful company with this business model. She firmly believes that you can be successful business owner without working the traditional 9 to 5 while still embracing the work from anywhere lifestyle. And I'll tell you what, Katy, you'll be embracing what Nationwide had to say yesterday in terms of this home working method. What was your thoughts on that?
Well, Nationwide was where I spent most of my career. So it wasn't a surprise for me because even before the pandemic, they were hugely supportive of flexible remote working. So we were always allowed to work from home when we wanted to. So I wasn't surprised, but I'm really pleased that they've made that move because it really does send a clear message.
Okay. For those of us who still feel we need to be in the office and they are still given that option, why do you think flexible working works and why are you such an advocate for it?
I think for me, it's not about saying that everybody should be remote workers. It's actually about saying you should have the choice. And that is what I'm all about. So some people will do their best work sitting in a busy office environment, surrounded by their team, and that is where they'll produce their best work between 9 and 5. Yet other employees might need quiet. They might be more creative, more productive in the comfort of their own home. And that's what it's about for me, because it's a win-win for the employer and the employee. If you give people the freedom and the trust to choose what works for them, you'll get the best out of your people every single time.
Yeah, you make a good argument there. How about for those employers that want presenteeism?
I think they're going to see a large number of employees voting with their feet, and they will start to move on. It's as simple as that. You know, people will see what other companies like Nationwide are doing, and they'll just go. They'll go to the more flexible employers.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again for your time today. Really glad to have you here. Could you tell us a little bit about what you do and why you're so passionate about what you do?
As you said at the start, so Show Off Communications provides essentially an outsourced marketing department. But what we do is we help businesses to market internally to their employees. So that could be through change programs, or externally to their client base or customer base to really raise the profile of their organization out in social media, anywhere online. So we kind of do marketing in a really wide sense of the fact of it's any audience that the company needs us to help them with. But then we've got this new training academy because we recognise that smaller businesses and charities don't have the income to be able to bring in professionals all the time. So we teach them how to do it for themselves. And then I'm also passionate about bringing up the new generation of marketing content writers. So we have training in place for those as well.
Fantastic. How did you get into this career?
Well, I would say it was a history of experimentation. I have had a wide range of jobs throughout my career, and what I tended to do was figure out what I enjoyed about each thing, and gradually it led me to where I ended up. So I think that's a really important thing, is to get out there and experiment and try different jobs. I remember working in a factory many years ago, and whilst I didn't enjoy the work, what I did love was the targets. that were associated with it. And I also loved the team feel. So I took those elements and thought, okay, now I know that's important to me for my next job. And I just gradually went through like that, and it led me to communications work.
Yeah, the world of work has completely changed, from this generation to past generations. In the past, you found one job, you found your trade, and you did that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But these days, this week we were talking about portfolio careers, trying different things and, a collage of different areas and making something that works for you.
Yes.
So, you are somebody who's experienced that. There'll be lots of students watching and thinking, okay, what can I do in terms of, planning for my future and creating that future that Kate has and, that I want to have as well? What would you say to them?
I think a big part of it is actually the research side of things, actually getting out, meeting people and figuring out what it is that you're interested in, particularly if you want a portfolio career. I would consider myself even now as having a portfolio career because I'm looking after different elements of marketing, yet I'm also fulfilling a passion with training other people. And I also have another arm where I'm focusing on coaching people with mindset. And I've only discovered those through research, talking to people, finding out what is it they do, and figuring out for myself what elements of what other people do is what could fire me up as well. And you've just got to be open to explore lots of different avenues. Some things won't work out, some things won't be your cup of tea, and that's absolutely fine. But by keeping experimenting and being open to change, you'll gradually find what's for you.
You're very passionate and you enjoy what you do. That really does come across. You spoke there briefly about mindset. Why is that important?
Because your success relies on your mindset. Absolutely. You only have to look at, say, top athletes as a prime example of how far mindset can get you. For them, everything starts in the mind first. It's about knowing what you want to achieve. It's about having that clear vision of where you want to be in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, and figuring out who is the person that I need to be to achieve that in my life. And that really helps you to focus your priorities. And every day when you're coming up against things in work, in life, in education, you can keep reminding yourself of the person that you need to be. And you can then start to align your actions to that future place.
Sounds good. Wow. Would you say it's better to set a huge plan and just go for it, or just bite sizes?
I personally like to have a long-term goal. So in my business, or in my life, I know in X amount of years, I would like to have this much turnover. I would like to be in this position. But then what I do is I backtrack it. You almost start with the end in mind, and then you work it back into little bite-sized chunks. So if you know that, for example, in 10 years, you want to be a millionaire business owner, okay, great. What does that look like? Where will you be in 5 years? Where will you be in 3 years? Where do you need to be today? What do you need to be doing today to help you achieve that future aim?
I like that. Reverse engineering.
Absolutely. Yeah. Reverse engineer your goals every single time.
Where did that come from?
So I am a big believer in always being a student in life, and I enroll in a lot of courses. And I've been recently involved in a course that's really been around the mindset of business owners. And that was one of the things that most 7-8 figure entrepreneurs will tell you is that is where you start. You start with the end in mind and you work back from there.
Definitely, yeah. So it's a huge lesson to take there. And, again, just to remind the students, because that's really important, something for them to take with them. This is our big finale Friday. Really glad that we've got you on. You've really made some really key points here. Set a big goal, and then so work with the end in mind, but work in bite sizes to achieve that goal.
Absolutely. And don't get distracted by the bumps in the road. I always say to the students I work with, life is a bit like a Google map. You put your destination in and it knows where you want to go. And sometimes you'll get detours. Sometimes you'll get bumps in the road. Sometimes you'll get roadworks. But actually, the focus never changes from that end point. And that is the trick with mindset and goal setting, is remembering where you want to be and just taking the detours, taking the rough with the smooth, but just remembering that you're still on course for that end destination.
Thank you for sharing that. A lot of our students will be thinking about future employment. They'll be looking at you and thinking, you're an employer. What would you be looking for in an employee when someone sends a CV to you?
Honestly, I look for a passion for helping other people, but I'm not looking for experience or anything like that. For me, as you'll probably guess, it's all about what's up here. Is there a passion? Is there a passion for learning? Is there a passion for helping other people? Because when you're in marketing, essentially that is what your life is about. It's about helping other businesses to succeed. So you have to have a passion for that. I like positive people, can-do people, but also I like proactive people. So some of the people that have worked with me before have actually started off by approaching me on LinkedIn and just saying, I've seen a lot about your business. Can we have a one-to-one? Because I'd love to learn more about it. And it's just those little proactive things are things that will set you apart from other people when it comes to working with me.
Yeah, definitely. Being approached on LinkedIn clearly shows that, you're networking. Why is LinkedIn so important?
So, LinkedIn is not as exciting and not as fun Instagram for business owners, really, isn't it? It's where you find the people that can make your career if you want to work in those kinds of industries. Some of my target clients are on Instagram, but generally when you're starting out in your career, you can unlock doors to people that you would never normally meet. And by going there, setting yourself up a profile, posting regularly just about your thoughts on work, on the world, what's going on, you'll start to give yourself a bit of a platform, and that will do nothing but help you when it comes to future employment.
Yeah, and marketing is, it's a huge industry. It has, a lot to play in everything that we do. Almost everything is marketing. Some people would argue marketing is probably the most important department in any business. Could you talk to us a little bit about the various different marketing types that are out there?
Yes, yeah. So within marketing, you've got the internal and the external. For this purpose, I'll focus more on the external because that is the more popular side of marketing. So within marketing, you will have strategists. So these are people that will come up. They're usually very creative people, and they'll come up with the campaigns. So, you see like the catchy slogans or really interesting takes on adverts. Those will generally be your marketing strategists that are coming up with all of those types of things. Then you've got the people that bring it to life. So you can have marketing content writers. So these are people that are creating written content, whether that's for social media captions or blogs, website content. Wherever there's words, you'll find a marketing copywriter. Then you can have videographers, photographers, animators, social media specialists, ad campaign people. Literally if you think of anything online, there's someone in marketing that will be attached to that. And that's why I love it so much, because there's something for everyone. If you're a strategy kind of person, there's something for you. If you're artistic, there's something for you. If you're a brilliant writer, there's something there for you too. You can, and it's one of those careers that you can shape into what you enjoy doing. It's not a set thing to focus on. You can make it your own.
That sounds really interesting. So one post by, let's say, John Lewis has a content writer involved, has a media buyer, has a videographer, has all sorts involved in that.
Absolutely. And the great thing is that some of those people will be at a very senior level, But some of those people are very junior level and at the start of their career, and yet they're getting to work on these massive campaigns. So that's again why I love it. It's not like a secret club that you have to be at a certain level before you can work in marketing. Actually, you can come in at any point and get involved in something and start to grow your experience and your skills.
Have you ever spotted anyone who's just, raw with talent, probably just doesn't recognize it, still maybe in college, they just really, they've got the knack for it, but maybe they don't realize it and they're doing something?
Yes, absolutely. And I'll tell you where it is, TikTok. There are so many people on TikTok that I just think, God, I'd love you to come and work for me, because they're just posting their own content, their own videos, but they are so compelling. And they're entertaining. Some of them are really heartfelt. And I think a lot of young people, and on Instagram as well, have really got the potential to make serious money from a marketing style life, because they're just so good at it. It's just brilliant. I love it. I'm often found diving down the rabbit hole of TikTok, spending hours just watching different videos.
No, definitely agree. I mean, again, referring to our audience today, I've just, looking at some of their work today, I was just blown away with what I saw. And I thought, my goodness, this is really good stuff. You could, literally use this for full campaigns. So,
Yes.
Great work from them. Could you did you ever envisage yourself doing what you're doing now?
No, I wanted to be an actress. That was my life goal when I was young. And it was actually the first big life lesson I would say I learned, because as anyone who's tried acting will know, you get a lot of rejections before you get a yes. And I was up for a particularly big part and I didn't get it. And I just gave it all up. I just completely gave up acting. And that, to this day, has been one of my biggest regrets, because what I realized in that lesson is that you should never stop just because you don't succeed on the first, second, third try. If it's something you're passionate about, you have to keep going. It goes back to the Google Maps analogy I was talking about. And that was one big life lesson. So although I didn't achieve my dream, it's something that allowed me to shape a new dream for myself based on what I'd learned.
Definitely. And I'm sure that made you even more hungry to succeed.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I thought, I'm a big believer in take the lesson and learn from it. I remember how it felt, and that's what I did. I always remember that disappointment of one day looking back and thinking, I shouldn't have given up on that. And I did. And I never want to feel that way again. So every day in my life now, I never let anything go until I don't think it's right for me anymore.
And I suspect that the experience that you had from that, and the skills that you gained, again, you probably see that within other actors and actresses, and you think to yourself, hang on a minute, I'm actually applying these to what I do today. So it's made you you're more resilient to setbacks. You're also more organized, you're more professional in what you do, and you focus, that level of concentration. You're like an athlete. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, absolutely. Not physically, obviously, unfortunately, but no, in the mind, absolutely. Yeah, I've got an athlete's mind, and yeah, I never give up, and I don't question myself. If I've made my mind up on something, that's it. It's happening.
Yeah, and I like the way you keep going back to the mind again. Could you remind us again why positive mental attitude is so important?
It is the differentiator between people that succeed and people that don't. That is what it comes down to. Your mind is your best friend. It will tell you when you're doing something really well. It will tell you to be confident. It will tell you when something doesn't feel right. It's there for a reason. And if you can shape your mental attitude and align it with your future goals, and you will be unstoppable. You know, it is a difficult thing to do. You know, there's a lot of bumps in the road that come along with trying to keep that positive attitude, but it all comes back to what we were saying about your future goal. And as long as you never let that leave you, just keep on that road and keep that positive attitude of the person that's achieved everything that you want to achieve.
Yeah. How do you pick yourself up on those down days and get back on track?
I allow myself to have a down day. You know, everybody's human. It's impossible to be upbeat all the time. What do? I just recognize it and say, do you know what? This is not my day today. So I'm going to make it enjoyable. So I may sit and, you know, binge on Netflix for the day. And I'm kind to myself. If things don't go wrong, I don't beat myself up. I think, you know, it comes back. I'm my own best friend. And I think if this was my best friend sitting next to me saying, this has happened to me today, what would I say to them? And I'd say to them, do you know what? Chill out, relax, don't worry about it. And so that's what I tell myself. So I allow myself the freedom to enjoy that downtime and just wallowing a little bit in how awful everything is. But with the aim of, do you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to get up and start again. And that's it.
That's it. Tomorrow's another day.
Exactly.
And give yourself that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was Captain Sir Tom Moore who said that, wasn't he?
Yeah. Tomorrow will be a good day, you know? Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us about your day to day. What's a typical day like for you?
Yeah, well, that's the joy of working in marketing. You've got no such thing as a typical day. So some of the tasks that I could be doing is obviously working on client campaigns, but then I could have a day that's filled with meetings with clients, which can be quite challenging because sometimes clients don't know what they don't know. They don't know what they want. So it's a lot of fact-finding calls to really uncover what I need to work on. A lot of time on social media. So if you love social media, you would love running a marketing business because that's where you spend most of your time networking with other people. And yeah, just having one-to-ones, doing things like this that we're doing now to try and spread the word about, you know, just how great it is to either work for a marketing company or start your own.
Yeah. And the thrill of chasing the client.
Yeah. It's exciting, you know, it's exciting. You never know what's going to pop up in your email inbox. So it's no 2 days are the same. So if you like something that's very constant, very regular, very set task based, repetitive, then marketing wouldn't be for you. But if you want every day to feel completely different and get up in the morning and think, I literally have no idea what's going to happen today and I love it, then yeah, it's a great job.
Now, this is a difficult question. What do you enjoy the most?
I think it's seeing the end result. It's actually because we tend to work mostly with small charities and businesses. So when we go in and support with a campaign and you see the impact it has, you know, maybe they increase their revenue by 50% or, you know, they get 10 times more engagement on social media than they did before. That's what I find most rewarding because that's the validation that I'm giving something to somebody that supports their progress.
Yeah. That's it. It's getting back again, isn't it? I think I was looking at a Tony Robbins post when he's advising businesses. The best thing you can do is to serve your clients, and what you get back is more than any financial reward.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely, totally agree with that. It's especially within a marketing world, it is all about how you best serve your clients. It's not about you. It's not about what you think is best. It's always about what's in the best interests of the client, what is going to help their business, and by helping them, you then start to grow your own.
And what final words would you like to leave our audience with?
I think I would like to just give 3 tips, if I may, just really for people starting out. And I think these would apply for any career that you were going into. The first one is be visible. So whether you set up a LinkedIn profile and actually spend time on there connecting with people. You're more than welcome to connect with me if you want to, but search for people. If you know that there's a company that you'd like to work for, look for the employees of those companies and connect with them. Ask them questions about working for that organization. Just get visible. The second one is be you. People will want you for you. So don't feel that you have to fit certain molds. Don't be afraid to break the mold and be someone different, because that will help you stand out in a busy marketplace. And the final one is always be a student, even when you've left education. So, learn something new every day. Listen to podcasts, join free webinars, research experts in the field of work that you want to go into. I learn every single day. I learn something new every day. And that's what I would say to the people listening in to do as well.
Wow. Huge advice there. Katy, I just want to say huge thank you for spending the time here with us today. Those are big tips for our audience to take. Guys, you need to make sure you watch this again, because what Katy is offering is some great advice. Remember, be visible. If you're not in it, you can't win. You need to be authentic, be yourself. And, the best you is you. So you don't need to pretend. And never stop learning. Life is constant. We're always learning in life. And the day you think you know it all, that's when you're in trouble. So make sure you're always open to learning. My advice to you again, guys, is make sure you watch this again. There's so much that's been said here. Sometimes you might watch a video and you pick up on something, but then when you watch it again and again, you pick up on other things that you might not have heard the first time. So Katy's taken the time to sit here with us and she's shared her expertise. Katy, just want to say a huge thank you again. There's lots for us to take from this.